Now let's get to know the latest happenings in Super Eagles camp in Austria. Media officer of the senior national team, Babafemi Raji, is joining us from Austria. Thank you so much for joining us. What's the latest, please, and how is the preparation ahead of a second leg of this friendlies?
Well, we're preparing well. The team is preparing well. We just had a player join us from his base, Utpest in Hungary. He's a central midfielder. I'm talking about Vincent Onovo. He's joined the team, so we're back to 21 players. Trust Ekong had to leave camp to have further checks on the injury cropped towards just to be sure and be safe. He cropped during the game against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. That was on Friday. Remember, he was substituted. It was a forced substitution where Valentine Ozowanfo had to come in for him in that game. But in all, we've been preparing well. Earlier today, we also have some of us take our COVID-19 tests as we get set for tomorrow's game. So everything is in good shape. The boys are in top-notch spirit. The players are in top shape as well. It's a test game. It's a practice game for the records. And it's an avenue for the coaching crew to once again reassess things. Coach General re-echoing what he said, stated in clear terms after the game against Cameroon on Friday, that this game will be an avenue for him to try more things especially with the defensive line of setup of the team. Perhaps he talked about having a three-man defense and trying new things about tactical flexibility. That's what we will expect in the game against the Indomitable Lions tomorrow. Once again, it's a practice game. And we hope to make most use of it. It's part of our preparation for the World Cup qualifiers proper and also the AFCON. We are already through with AFCON. We want to sustain the momentum in which we ended the AFCON qualifiers. And that's why we are embracing these fine-tuning games to keep us in good shape. It will help in terms of team chemistry, tactical balance, and every other thing. And also help the team further bond as we prepare for the bigger task ahead.
All right. Yes, it is a practice game, but that will be on the record. And of course, the Nigerian spirits and the fans, they always want to see the national teams do well. What's a challenge has the technical crew discovered from the first game, and how are they working on that?
Well, I'm sure whatever lapses discovered, Coach General must have highlighted such to his team. However, remember in his post-match interview, I'm re-echoing him again. He talked about the positives, more of the positives. The level of aggressiveness of the team was well measured. The response of the team after going down by a goal was actually accurately measured. Yeah, the team responded very well after going down. We had for the record 17 shots at goal in that game, and with those 17 shots at goal, it means and the team responded well. Cameroonians had barely won, and though it's about them converting, but the response of the team was apt. If you really studied or watched the game closely and you've had a second time look at the game, you get to realize that the Super Eagles came all out. And that's the kind of character, the response any team needs. So we just want to once again appeal to fans, the lovers of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We understand that it's the concern. It's born out of the passion, the concern that people we will always raise one or two objections as to certain things, but know that these boys will always march into every game with one sole thing at the back of their minds. That is to make Nigerians happy by getting desirable or required results. And I know whatever lapses noticed in that first game played against Cameroon on Friday, there will be already the corrections made, and then we'll see something interesting again against the same Cameroonian side tomorrow.
Okay, now in preparation for AFCON and the World Cup qualifiers, with a crop of players in the team, how confident is the technical advisor, that's Gennett Roy, in getting results from these guys?
He's been with his team long enough to know that definitely to know that he's the chief. I would like the chief psychologist. So the level of confidence in Raw is equally very high, and he knows that. So it's about just getting set for these highly confident as well. He knows his lads, the boys. And that's why we've embraced this opportunity for him to still check more of the players, know those that could break into the squad, like he said several times. So the coach, Geno is, of course, he's got utmost confidence in his boys. And it's all about just being able to execute or implement the plans laid out on match day situations.
Media Officer, Super Eagles of Nigeria, Babafemi Raji, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Right, we just listened to Raji there talking about their readiness to take on the Indomitable Lion, and actually called it a practice game, a friendly game. We all know that, but this has to do with integrity as well.
True. Like you rightly said, ours is a country that bolsters a lot of, pride as far as the round letter game of football is concerned. Whether it's a friendly, whether it's, one of those many local or even international, all we want is a win, especially when it involves our arch rivals from way back in the day. Cameroon, Ghana, South Africa. These guys are rivals, and we do not at any point in time want to drop points or drop goals against them. However, taking a cue from the last match, I was able to see some bits of the match, and from where it was, I think it was just a repetition of what happened against Chelsea, Manchester City. Now, Chelsea were the more disciplined side. On paper, everybody expected Manchester City to win. So same for the Super Eagles. On paper, we had a better squad. We had the Onuachus, we had the Iheanachos, we had all the big guys up front.
We have the stars.
We had the stars, basically. Cameroon is a much more less star-studded team, just a few handful of guys, home-based, international alike. And naturally, all the bookmakers would have picked us to win. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out. And why did this happen? The key word is discipline. Chelsea came into that game knowing that Manchester City had a Kevin De Bruyne and a Fernandinho who didn't play, which was a tactical lapse. But they had all the technical know-how to execute that kind of match. So what do?
So is that what
soak in the pressure,
Lions did against
soak in the
Super
pressure,
Eagles?
exactly. Soak in the pressure, catch them on a counter, get a goal or two, and once you do that, lock shop. Mourinho style, 9-1 formation. And it paid off for Cameroon. They got the one goal they needed, locked up shop, and then sat and waited for the Super Eagles to come and hit them. And, not very many teams can execute this level of discipline.
We also had our chances, a lot of attempts and goals.
Ballooned, yes. Kelechi Iheanacho case study. I remember, I think it was in the 85th minute, Onuachu had a very wonderful shot that was parried away by the goalkeeper, spilled over. Kelechi was approximately barely less than 15 inches in the 6-yard box. All he needed to do was just put that in the net.
Right, what do you want to see in the second leg?
Now, what I want to see in the second leg is a more compact team, moving from back to forward. At some point, we felt a little too withdrawn. We felt because the Cameroonians were defending and we're also we thought, okay, let's fall back. Let's see how we can pull them. But these guys are disciplined. They know what we pretend and what we can do up front. So if you are going to go forward, go forward. That's whether or not you're losing. If you want to score, score. But don't sit back and expect that they will come to you. It's a game strategy that has not worked for many teams in times past. So it's going to be an all-out massive attack, massive defense with an ample midfield that is able to move the ball from defense line to the attack line. That is why we have an Etebo, we have an NDD. I think the problem has been the connection. Ndidi has struggled to have a link up with Etebo, and until those two can actually connect very well, there might just be a little slap or lapse in, lifting balls across to the Iheanachos and the Onuachus to bury. So it's going to be a case of struggle, but nothing to show for it.
All right, let's see how they're able to rewrite the story of meeting Indomitable Lions of Cameroon again on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football CAF has postponed the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations draw due to water. It's called logistical reasons related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The draw was initially scheduled for June 25th in Yaoundé, that's the capital city of the host country, Cameroon. Now, away from that, let's go to Euro, and Euro 2020 commences this weekend with the opening match on Friday. June 11 at Rome's Stadio Olimpico, the 16th UEFA European Championship to celebrate the tournament's 60th birthday will hold in 11 cities across the continent, while England's national stadium, Wembley, will stage both the semi-finals and the final. Now, guess what? The former Arsenal coach Arsene Wenger is saying that France should be favourites in this game, talking about the stars they've got and coming from the background of a world champions that they are. I believe that they are favourites in this.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Professor Arsene Wenger. I mean, you're a professor of economics and all that, but football is really not about stars anymore. Names don't win games, except maybe when it involves Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Except maybe when it involves those two because they are special. But aside those two, I do not think any team that does not have a Ronaldo.
Right. It specifically came from an angle talking about Conte, Dembele, Griezmann, Benzema, and all of that.
Names,
these are guys who are doing well.
Yes,
in
N'Golo
Europe.
Kante, wonderful, absolutely splendid player. They call him the Lionel Messi man who stopped Lionel Messi. Did the same thing against Manchester City, stopped Kevin De Bruyne, stopped, he was literally in the forefront, two-time player of the match, blah, blah, blah. But my point is, names don't win games, except you are a Messi or Ronaldo. This is my point. Going into this match, if you've been following the Euro friendlies going on, there are countries that even people don't even put eyes on that we should actually be taking. Case study, Greece. Greece is one of those few countries where, okay, yeah, it's a small country, don't have much of footballing history. But if you check their record so far in the friendlies, thus far, they've actually had almost a 100% record. Almost. They've won virtually almost every game. Any game they didn't win was a draw. That's one team. Belgium, on the other hand, is another team. You have Torgan Hazard, you have Benteke, you have Romelu Lukaku, which has come from an Inter Milan win, Scudetto, bolstering and beaming with all levels of confidence. And then you have a Kevin De Bruyne who successfully performed surgery, and according to reports, he should join up with the Belgian squad, which means they have, you have a KDB in your middle park. You can pull down any wall. KDB is the X factor for any team anywhere. I think it was Peter Drury. Peter Drury said KDB is the next best thing to Messi that is in the EPL. You have Messi in La Liga, you have Ronaldo in Serie A. KDB is the Messi of the EPL. And with that guy in the middle park for Belgium, he did it for them in Russia.
Okay,
that's why they were able to make it to the semi. For me, it's going to be hard because the COVID-19 pandemic has really made things a little very imbalanced. The players, staff, it's going to be different without the fans. But if I must pick a favorite, I think I will go with Belgium. Yes, if not for anything,
Belgium
because I want to see
Daniel
Kevin De Bruyne. Yes.
And the game starts on June 11. That's on Friday. Let's see the games coming from that action awaits you. Wait for it. And that's it on the program this time. Sports Unlimited on NTA News24. Thank you for being part of it. And of course, to my colleague Daniel Aderiye for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'll see you next week with a big and better package of Sports Unlimited.